Good morning, welcome to day 2 on the River Avon. It is absolutely beautiful. It is so quiet and it is just so picturesque. The river is really wide here where we are, and we have moored right next to a weir, which is really unusual and was really interesting to see kind of the workings of the weir, and we walked over there and had a look. The cats have had this island to play on. This isn't a particular island, actually, no, this joins a suburb. Where we want to moor up today is a whole island that they might have to themselves, if there's not another boat there.
First things first, let's take a look at Luddington Lock. It's a flood-safe mooring, and there's comfortable room here for 2 60-foot narrowboats, or 3 shorter boats. If you take a look around the mooring spot, you might find an information board outlining the work of the late David Hutchins. We have him to thank for masterminding the restoration of the Upper Avon River, and without him there would be no vlog. On the way to the lock, don't forget to say hi to the cows. I take their intense stare to be consent to put them on YouTube. Over the bridge, and we get a better view of the big weir on the right of the lock. Look how small Lazy Days is. Lucky for us, there hasn't been any heavy rainfall, so the water levels are low, and I've not noticed any pull of a current whilst moving the boat. We enjoyed the mooring at Luddington Lock and its water point, and waited until the lock was set in our favour before we started out. This meant that both the lock gates were open, waiting for me to pull in. It's customary on the river to leave both gates open as you leave, so whilst it's more convenient just to use one gate, it's not in line with the rules on this river. With a heave-ho, Anna Marie promptly gets the gates closed while I fuss with the centre line to secure the boat in the lock. The recommendation for all the locks along the River Avon is to keep the boat secured with the bow and aft line, but for our descent in the locks we found it safe enough with just the centre line. Luddington Lock, as with all the locks on the Upper Avon, is dual named. The second name honours individuals or groups associated with the restoration of the river. This is the only lock that we plan to pass through on today's journey, and just as well, look at all the winding necessary to let the water out. The river lock gates that we've seen so far have much wider walkways than the canal locks, but they don't look much fun to me.
So there's some work required at this lock. I'm going to open both gates and leave them open when I exit. I'm going to drop the paddles, lower the paddles anyway. I think I'll start over that side, lower the paddle, open the gate, lower the paddle, come back across this awesome bridge, and then open this gate and lower the paddle, then go down that set of stairs, and Kath's going to pick me up.
Come on, push! We haven't got all day.
There's actually stairs on both sides of this lock, so you can pick up crew from either side, and if you're 2 boats travelling together, that's also really helpful. However, the stairs on that side are really steep. Smartly done by Kath. The wind tripped us up a little bit. We didn't realise either that the easy side of the lock was actually really elevated and the hardest stairs at the lock was at a nice level to board the boat, so I had to climb up onto the top of the boat anyway, but it's not a problem because Kath's awesome at manoeuvring.
It's a little windier than I would like.
Yeah, we tried to leave earlier before the wind picked up.
But Munchie wouldn't come out the hedge.
Yeah. We're on the move now. We should be alright.
Yeah. How far are we travelling today?
Like a mile. Day 2, 1 mile.
More cows. They must have heard that we're filming today. After safely exiting Luddington Lock, we have a long cruise ahead through a narrow and windy section of the river to Welford Lock.
There's heaps of room.
And just like on the canal, it's mandatory that we would meet our first approaching boat on a corner with lots of trees to obscure the view. And just like on a canal, they are viewers of the vlog. Hello Liverbird, and thanks for watching. It's a little bit overcast today, but it's still a perfect time to get a cup of tea and enjoy some cruising along the River Avon.
Corners are quite tricky to see the way out.
Everything's so grey today.
Yeah.
At least there's no glare.
Yes. I'm gonna go get a raincoat on though.
Yeah.
I think it's time. These are Benton Bridges, and this is what I was a little bit worried about just from the map, is that there's 3 arches and you only go under the one on the left, and I wasn't 100% sure what the pool would be like, but Kath's doing really super well.
Rail enthusiasts may be interested to know that there's an abandoned railway line not far from Benton Bridges. It's the railway line of the Stratford and Midland Junction Railway. Unfortunately, there's nowhere for us to moor here, so we can't go and take a look. Look at all that space. Plenty of room for a bigger sign on that bridge.
That is our first multi-arched bridge, and I'm happy to announce that we can clearly follow instructions.
Oh look, another weir in the distance. It must be time to moor up. And now we have the welcome sight of the blue top poles to signal the mooring at Welford Lock. It's an isolated spot here with no access by road, and has the added bonus that you can stay for 2 nights. I hope the cats approve. That happy meow really means, what took you so long to let me out? Then they're both off the boat. First stop, the weir. It's the first one they've seen up close.
Look at her tail up. She's like, never been this close to a weir before.
Tails up from Alice means she likes this spot, and ever the explorer, she had to be dissuaded from going for a little dip.
She's right hunched down. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
It really is a lovely spot here, and we're going to hunker down for the whole 2 days and get some work done. We've got heaps more of the river to see, so click the subscribe button if you love cats, boats and rivers, and in this case swans. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh, you've got babies. This might be the only time I drive. I'm not sure. I'm not incredibly confident on the river.
You can't just pull up wherever you want?